Ladies and gentlemen, something unusual has happened. For 60 years, you have known me one way. But today, I decided to let artificial intelligence show me how I would look if I were young, drop-dead handsome, and completely unstoppable. So when you see this gentleman on your screen, just remember, this is the new me. AI created it. I'm not sure if I should be flattered or offended, but either way, I thought it would be interesting. And yes, a little humorous, because we all need a laugh now and then. Now on to the real purpose of this video. Tonight, we celebrate greatness. We honor the Florida Half-Century Softball Hall of Fame, class of 2025. Before we get to our inductees, I want to share on your screen, you will see the board of directors that will lead this organization in 2026. Under our president, Mike Carrera, this board represents leadership, dedication, and a love for the game. And now, our inductees. Each Hall of Fame member will have their own video, their own speech, and their own moment. You can watch them individually, share them with friends and teammates, or watch them all, because every single one earned this honor. I'm proud to present the class of 2025. These men represent commitment, loyalty, and excellence. Their stories remind us why we love this game. So sit back, enjoy the journey, and remember, the handsome fellow introducing everybody today, that's me, the new me. Just don't ask me to play shortstop. AI hasn't figured that out yet.
Good evening. Good evening. If you don't know me, my name's Kurt Hoss. Been with the Hollis Appraisal softball team. We have been a part of Florida Half-Century. We're finishing up our 23rd year. So. That said, I want to thank you guys because it's been a great run. We're not done, I don't think, but we're close. Okay, but it's been a great run, and this half-century organization has just been really good for senior softball, especially senior softball players. So anyway, special thanks to you guys. Y'all got a great organization. We love it. One program in particular I really like is this Hall of Fame program. And y'all have been keeping that going for a number of years. And it's much appreciated. You got a great nominating process, a selection process, the banquet style inductions. A lot of times they happen on the field. This is great. So I think that adds a real substantial meaning to senior softball. Much appreciated, guys. That said, I'm really kind of honored to introduce a real good friend of mine. I'm not the best public speaker, but this guy has given me so much information I don't think I can screw it up. I mean, just check the internet, but anyway, on the ball field or off, this guy's a spectacular human being. When we're on the ball field, he lifts the team up just by being there. I don't know if you know, I know. We're just better for you being out there. And not only that, I think the whole association, I think the whole Florida Half-Century is better for having guys like this gentleman. Amen. So we're really, myself and Audie, we're really honored that you came on board and played with us a number of years ago. A little bit more about the man. He's God-fearing to the core. He's a true lifelong friend. He knows no strangers. He's true to his faith. He's a leader amongst men. I've stood back and watched his approach to life, and I've learned so much from him that he don't even know to learn from him. So I play some up there with my dad. I play some up there with my brother. Play some up there with Big Jack Arnold. so he's a giant of a man. He's spectacular on the field. So, I know that induction is supposed to be oriented to the Florida half century, but this guy's one of the most accomplished softball players in the world. You know, in Florida half century, I mean, we got talent. We got talent all over out there. When you get on a national level and you get at the top of the national level, that's what we're looking at. It's just different. It's just different. And that's what we're dealing with Mark. So I jotted a few things down. He's selected to the ASA National Hall of Fame. I believe that was in October 2017. That's the hardest association to get into if you follow Hall of Fame. It's brutal to get in there. If you get in there, you're a man. And there's a man. So, I think in '91 he was MVP of the Smoky Mountain Classic. Now I don't know how many of y'all know about the Smoky Mountain Classic, but I drove up there for years just to watch that tournament. It's an incredible tournament. Mark batted, I think he batted 821. That's against the best pitchers in the world, the best defenses in the world. That's just an incredible feat. Hit 10 home runs. I think he had 20 RBIs. In '89, he was selected to the Metro Orlando Softball Hall of Fame. From '90 to '97, he was a member of the Wilson Sporting Goods advisory staff. And I think you were the poster child for Tudor catalogs too, right? So I could call that out
wanted right behind you.
So he also was a member of the Olympic Festival, the East softball team. They had an East and West team. Yeah, and if you don't know what Olympic Festival is, it's when the Olympic Committee, they want to look at a new sport that they may introduce in 8, 10 years or 12 years or whatever. And so they do a trial run. And so they got the best players in the country. And Mark obviously was selected, and I think he led the team in Baton Rouge. But we don't have softball in the Olympics. But that wasn't your fault.
We had women's fast pitch for a while.
That's right, we did. And they did the fast pitch for the women at the same time. And the women aren't as hard on the umpires as the men, and that's why the men weren't in there. So it was ugly. It was ugly. 7-time ASA All-American. Okay. Outstanding player, as you won 5 ASA national championships. This is back when ASA was, they had the teams in there. It's hard to do. I think he won 1 with Lawson in Class A. And then with Belcorp, I think he won 4. And that's in the major and the super division. That's as good as it gets. That's as good as it gets. Named outstanding softball player by the Orlando Amateur Athletic Association 3 times.
Where'd you get all this stuff?
That's just out there.
Google.
Mostly from my memory, but it's out there. Member of the Orlando Hall of Fame. And then you got all that, but we were playing in Vegas, and he was playing on the Hollis 50 Major Plus team. When he hit a confirmed 535-foot home run, 535 feet. I saw it. And he didn't, because he never looks at it. But anyway, so now let's go to Florida half century. And what did he do? He started his career with LeMay Construction, and Randy's not here today, is he?
It's all Randy's fault, so just make sure y'all tell him that.
Yeah. So Randy's a great guy, and Randy has LeMay Construction. We had a house of plays, but we were in the top division, and we we're always battling each other back and forth. Always have great games. Okay? And then Randy was having a bad year, and I think they were like in the third division, something like that, second or third division. And he says, Kurt, he says, I got this guy. You got to come see him. And so he drug me from my field over there, and you were coming up to the plate. You were talking about creatures and scuds, right center field. I don't know how far I went, but it was picked up on radar. I know that. And that's the only swing I saw. And then Randy says, Kurt, I want him to play for y'all. He needs to be playing for y'all. And I said, well, Randy, that's awfully generous of you. Let's talk to Mark, see what Mark would like to do. And Mark said, well, I'd like to play the highest level I could. And so that's when Mark came aboard. But I wish Randy was here because I wanted to tell him this. I don't think he knows it. But that one unselfish move by Randy LeMay put us together, and that changed lives. That changed lives moving forward. We'll touch on that just briefly. But so he joined us in '88. That's I think we had won the first state title in '06. I say '88. 2008. Yeah. Is when he joined us. 2006, 2007, we had just won our first state titles, and then this monster comes on board, and so. I don't mean to jump ahead, but then it was 2008, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, and so. But anyway, over time we have become really good friends, and I met his mom and dad before they passed, some of his brothers and his kids. One son in particular got a really special place in my heart, and that's Robert. Robert. Robert, he requires constant adult care, but he loves to come to the park, and it's a burden on Mark to get him there and to play. But this guy would do it, and we appreciate that, and I know he appreciated that. And it was just a blessing to see you and Robert out. So, and I still, on occasion, get a phone call from Robert, so that you arranged, so, and that just makes my day. So, you always hear that God will never give you more than you can handle. He got Robert with the right guy. There's just no doubt. So that's just a blessing. So another one of his sons, Scott. Scott's a heck of a ball player. He come out and hit with me, and I'm like, dude. I said, they don't fall far from the tree. And but Scott was introduced to my brother's daughter, Ansley, and they ended up getting married. So all that kind of goes back to Randy LeMay and the little thing that he did, and so that all come forward. So now they're married. They got 8 kids, and
It's actually 3.
just seeing if they were listening. It's a test that I always put anything I do. So anyway, yeah, they do that through. I checked in on that. So anyway, I told you what happened when he came aboard. We had all those years, and this dude was he was driving. Not only does he hit like crazy. I mean, he would play in the outfield and constantly diving for balls. And I'm like, dude, you're like 6'4" and 240. You can't be diving. And he's getting hurt, and we're missing him. We had to move him first base. Then he gets to first base, and anytime you got less than 2 outs, and you got a runner on first, he comes right dead up, even with the back, he challenges those batters, and they go after him. And 9 times out of 10, they lose, and it's a double play. He has turned more double plays at first base than anybody I met. So,
You a Bruce Fairchild?
It even inspired me. One time I was at first, and we were right at the end of the tournament. This team had come back on us, and if they score, they're gonna tie it and probably go ahead. But they're going on that, and I played first, and I'm like, I'm gonna pull a Mark. That dude hit that ball right to me. Jack runner stepped on the base. We won the tournament. But that's because of you. So anyway. He's a stud, he's a leader. And then he retired from playing softball at Hollis of Braden. I think playing softball in general in the end of 2001. 21. Yeah, I got it right there, too.
I'm checking you now.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
That was a test. I'll give you a little quick story and I'll wrap up. So I had a guy, Vinci Sports, he makes baseball gloves for Major League ball players, custom gloves. And he called me one day, he says, Kurt, I want to make a senior softball bat. And I said, okay. And he said, well, I've got one molded up and ready. And he goes, I'm going to send it to you. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. He sent me that thing, and we always test those bats on baseball fields, just so you can get them as far as you can get them. And I got that bat, and I'm telling you, I was struggling to get to the co-ed line with it. And so I gave it to some other guys that were out there with me, and I had them hit it. And they're like, man, this is the worst bat I've ever hit. And I'm like, yeah, I agree. He shows up, and I say, hey, Mark, bitch, I'm gonna give you 10 swings, hit this ball out. And like I said, we're on the baseball field, so it's like 325 down the left field line. Second pitch, he hits one about 375 with this thing. And I told him we must have broke it in for you. So, but we still couldn't hit it. So anyway, the real truth of the matter, the guy's a freak. He's just a freak. And I'm so glad to know him. I'm so glad to be his friend. And so I went and when I went on the internet, I saw this podcast, Ed Rose, but the Sports Dugout.
Dugout, come on.
Okay. All right.
Come on.
Dugout Sports Conference. All right. Well, anyway.
With Ed and Dan.
But Ed,
Spotify.
That's right. And so they got an interview. You need to go check it out. They got an interview with Mark. It's really a good interview. But the last question that they asked him was, how do you want to be remembered after all is said and done? And this is, and I quote, that I will be somebody that is approachable, that you could come to me and have a meaningful conversation with about life, ask for a prayer. Just somebody that would be a life mate rather than just a teammate on the field. Somebody considered me to be a friend. Somebody they could count on. That would be a worthwhile legacy for me. So, sir, you accomplished that goal. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Martin.
How you swallow that? First thing I want to say is thank you for giving Kurt the other guy's time, too. That didn't put us behind, but it didn't put us ahead either, did it? Truly, thank you to the board and 40 Century, because I've been playing, like y'all, I've been playing a long time, but 40 Century's been very, very special time in my softball career and in my life. Because when you're young and you play, at least from my perspective, it's all about the game, it's about the competition, it's about how well you can do, and about how well you stack up against others. But for me, as life kind of began to change my hair color from black to gray, and things like that, joints started not quite as well. Some of you are nodding. Are you nodding? I realize there's a lot more important things in life than winning on the softball field or how well I do. So I really tried to change my focus and wanted to make sure I lived my life for Christ and walked up my faith better than I had done when I was a young man. And the Florida half-century format, to me, it lends itself to that because 15 years with the same basic group of men, get to know them. You get to know their families. You get to know the challenges that they go through in their lives. You get to bond together. You get to grow together with them, people that you can lean on and that they can lean on you. So the Florida half-century for me was probably the true highlight of my softball career because I had the most fun that I ever had playing a game in the Florida half-century. To me, the format is perfect. It's unbelievable, and I'm just thankful that I had the opportunity to play. So Randy LeMay, I wasn't going to play anymore. Randy asked me to come out, and I did. And like I said, it was life-changing for me. So I wanted to take a little bit different path here, if you guys will indulge me for a minute or two. And what I wanted to say was, in my experience in life, one of the things that I really want to make sure that I focus on is I want to make sure I have a thankful approach and attitude. So I look across the room, and there's a couple of people I want to make sure that I mention. Way back in the corner over there is Dennis Leonard. I don't know if you all know Dennis. I've known Dennis 42 years. Dennis has made a major impact on my life, my family's life, my mom and dad, just because he's just been a great friend. When we were young, we took a different path. I went and played this route, and Dennis played a different route. We both played and competed at high levels, but we never got to play together until the Florida half-century. We've been playing together for 14, 15 years now. It's really been a highlight of my life to get to play with one of my dear friends. So, Kurt already, I'm not going to go back there, Kurt, because you already stole all that part of it. So the life-changing events are the life-changing events. But there's others in this room. Dennis Bergstaller back in the corner, right in front of the two Dennises back there, side by side. Yeah, he's a guy that I can call any day, anytime, ask for anything, and I know he'd be there. And I know you all have those same kind of relationships as well. So for me, I'm really trying to focus on giving thanks, because the word says, in this life you will face trials and tribulations. I know I have. I'm going to assume each and every one of you have, and if you haven't, you will. You will. So for me, it's all about how I've approached that, and I want to encourage you in that way, because when you have a fork in the road, you can either choose life or you can choose not life. And a lot of that comes out of how we speak and how we address that situation. We can choose to speak life or death because that power is in our own tongue. So for us, and for me, I really work hard on that, because how many of us have said things like, dude, you're killing me? That's not a good way for me to be speaking about life, right? So I really worked hard in that way. So when I went through some major life-changing events, and I did, people would say, how are you doing? I'd say, I'm thankful and I'm blessed. Didn't always feel that way, but I made it a point to say that. And there's a young lady right there with her phone in front of her face that's the result of that blessing, because from that, the ashes of all of that agony came a gift to me in the form of my wife Frances, and she's just been a huge blessing in my life. So I want to quote my favorite philosopher, Rocky Balboa. I wrote it down so I didn't get it wrong. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. I don't care how tough you are, It'll beat you to your knees and keep you there if you let it. Nobody's going to hit as hard as life. It ain't about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. So what I want to tell you is there may be people in here that are having some challenges right now. Maybe you don't quite know where to turn. I'm here. My wife and I would be happy to talk with you privately or as a group or down the road, exchange numbers and talk later. But I can tell you this, the Apostle Paul says that I am hard pressed, but I'm not beaten. Forgot the word there, it's bad, isn't it? I'm perplexed, but not struck down. So I stand with you. If you have any of those feelings or you got those concerns, I'm here. Like Kurt said, I want to be approachable. This would be a good testimony. But I appreciate you guys. Many of you in this room, I love you dearly. The rest of you, I love a little bit. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here, and thank you again. Oh, and Ed, before we leave, you asked me a question.
I did.
On the Dugout podcast. Have I started taking dancing lessons yet with my ballerina wife? So the answer is yes. Okay. So.
Welcome to the Florida half-century class of 2025 Hall of Fame. These men are more than players. They are teammates, leaders, and examples of what it means to live long and play strong. If you enjoyed this induction, please hit subscribe and join our community. We are the #1 channel on YouTube for softball history, stories, and inspiration. With over 35 categories of entertaining and educational content, there is always something here to make you smile, to make you think, and to make you better. Our new goal for 2026 is 30 subscribers, and you can help us get there. Share the channel with a teammate or a friend. Thank you for watching. Congratulations to the class of 2025, and we'll see you at the ballpark.
A little too flat. Little too flat. Nope. Another shot hit in the direction of the left fielder Armitage, and he's just going to stand and watch that one go. Boy, it looks like that.